Selection Sunday is here, which means the official 2019 NCAA basketball tournament bracket will soon be revealed. The 68-team field for the tournament will be officially announced on CBS tonight. Everyone will be looking to capture their one shining moment, just like Villanova did last year when it won the grueling 3-week tournament. To help us break down the brackets, let's bring in Nicole Auerbach. She is a senior writer for theathletic.com. Nicole, thanks so much for being here. So Villanova won its third straight Big East championship Saturday, and you wrote an article in The Athletic about how upperclassmen Eric Paschall and Phil Booth powered the team to the win. Can this momentum carry the Wildcats to a second straight NCAA title?
Well, I'm not sure if this is going to be the year, because this is a team that's not going to have a 1 seed like they have in the past. They lost a lot of talent from last year's team. It's kind of, you know, the curse of being too good. Right. They were so good, went so deep in the NCAA tournament that they lost more guys to the NBA than they thought they would. And they're kind of flying under the radar, which is what they'd prefer. But they're probably going to be maybe a 5 or a 6 seed and not quite have that clear path to the title. And
it's interesting. The ACC could potentially have 3 #1 overall seeds in Virginia, Duke, and North Carolina. Do you see that happening? And what does that say about the conference's strength heading into this tournament?
I think we might actually see that happening, depending on how everything else shakes out. We don't entirely know how the selection committee is going to value a new metric, the net, the NET, which is different from the RPI of years past. But all 3 of those teams have resumes very much deserving of #1 seeds, and they've played each other a fair amount, which should help. Duke is now finally at full strength with Zion Williamson, National Player of the Year, likely winner, and so they might be in position to win the #1 overall seed.
Yeah, I mean, how about the Duke Blue Devils? They have been a must-watch team all season. Could they potentially win it all?
Oh, definitely. I mean, this seems to be the most talented team in the country this year. And it's really just been about Zion Williamson's health and whether or not he would be on the court. When he's there, they are a totally different team. And they look pretty much unstoppable. I think that they're going to be a very trendy pick to win it all. Zion is the most exciting player in the country. He is must-see TV. And he's got a lot of pieces around him. So I think that they're going to be it's kind of been a tournament or bust team this year, so this is what they're playing for.
So, of course, only 68 teams will make it in, and some will be left out when the names are announced tonight. Who are some of the bubble teams that you're looking at that could perhaps miss out on the tournament?
Well, I'm looking at kind of the divide between mid-major teams like a Belmont or UNC Greensboro, these teams, Furman, that have had 25, 26 wins this season, but they're in conferences that don't quite give them the same resumes or opportunities of some of these middling teams in power conferences like Texas and NC State. Texas is a 500 team right now, which is crazy that they're even under consideration for the NCAA tournament. NC State, 500 in league in the ACC, which is challenging, but they had a horrific non-conference schedule. The committee doesn't like that. So I hope that these mid-major teams are the ones that are going to get those final spots, like the Belmonts of the world, that had a tough game in their conference tournament, just lost. Murray State got in over them. So I'm hopeful that we'll see teams like that instead of just middle-of-the-pack power conference teams.
So last year featured several entertaining Cinderella teams, including, of course, Sister Jean and the Loyola Chicago Ramblers. I mean, who could forget? Remember Sister Jean there? Everyone loves Sister Jean. But which teams do you think have upset potential this year?
Well, unfortunately, I don't know if anyone has a Sister Jean equivalent, which is quite a shame. But there's a lot of teams, and actually some of the ones that I think people will consider Cinderellas will probably have pretty decent seeds, like Buffalo and Wofford. Those are 2 teams that had fantastic seasons. They won some big games in the non-conference, so they're going to have pretty favorable seed lines, and they won't be like a double-digit 12 seed making a run. Murray State has John Morant, and he's one of the most exciting players in the country, so that's maybe more of a true Cinderella. Maybe Vermont, too. I always look for teams that have been to the NCAA tournament in recent years, so the players are not blinded by the spotlight. And so I think that those are some of the teams I would look at, but always look for teams with veterans, lots of seniors. Those are the teams that usually pull off those upsets.
And looking at the landscape, what is your advice for filling out the brackets?
I really don't have any. I mean, pick one of the ACC teams and just go with it. I think that's really the best advice I can give. I mean, I think a lot of people are hesitant about Virginia after their shocking loss to UMBC last year. I don't think that's going to happen again. They have a lot to prove. I think they'll get through the first weekend, but I think Duke and Carolina are going to be the trendiest picks to win it all.
All right, Nicole Auerbach. Nicole, thanks so much for stopping by.
Thank you.